Mr. Larry Grossman. At this point, we'll have the posting of the colors by Boy Scout Troop 419.
Color guard, attention! Audience, please rise. Color guard, forward march. Color guard, prepare to post colors. Post colors. Those who are in uniform, please salute. Those who are not in uniform, put your right hand over your heart. May the Girl Scouts and Troop 419 ASPL please come up to join us in the Pledge of Allegiance. Ready? Begin. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. 2. Color guard, reform. Color guard, retreat. Color guard, dismissed. Audience at ease.
Good evening, everybody. Thank you for coming. My name is Gary Ederle. I'm president of San Dimas Heroes. We are here tonight to honor our veterans. I can't help but to think of all the victims and their families of the recent tragedies that have occurred in our country. I would like to ask for a few seconds of silence in honor of those who lost their lives, their families, and friends in New York, Las Vegas, and of course, most recently, Texas. If we could have a couple minutes or a couple of seconds of silence, I appreciate it. Thank you. At this time, I'd also like to recognize some of the hero family members that had so much to do with building of this monument but are not with us today. They are Janie Grave, who is our co-founder of the Heroes, Don Story, Tom Logan, Terry Quinn, and just this past Monday, we lost a very dear friend, and that was Nancy Newman, who passed away on Monday. So I'd like to recognize all of them for all the work that they've done over the past, 12 years now that we started the organization, so they're sorely missed. At this time, I'd like to invite Deborah Mendelson, who's the Senior Deputy for Supervisor Barger, to come forward.
Good afternoon. On behalf of Los Angeles County Supervisor Catherine Barger, it is my honor, my privilege to be here today to join with all of you as we salute our heroes in San Dimas and throughout Los Angeles County. We owe a debt of gratitude to all of you that can never be fully repaid, but today we take a moment to say thank you. Thank you so much.
I'd like to ask Ryan Vienna to come forward. He's a member of our city council here at San Dimas. Ryan?
Good afternoon. First, before I get started, I just want to take a moment to acknowledge the rest of the City Council and thank the Mayor for the opportunity to speak. The City Council, I believe, is here in its entirety. Mayor Morris is here, I believe. Mayor? There he is. Mayor Pro Tem Dennis Bertone is here as well. I saw him. Dennis. Councilman John Ebner, I believe, is here. And there he is. And Councilman Emmett Vidar, right up here. It's kind of funny, you volunteer to be the guy to talk, and then it's like, what do I say? Well, it's an absolute honor and a privilege to be able to stand up here in front of all of you that have served and the families that also have served. Before coming here, I was actually a Holy Name of Mary for the service. There is a gentleman here, which kind of makes the point, who shared his youngest brother passed away, and they served in Vietnam. And Father Rich, as he was talking about that service and what it means, I thought, what would I say when I came here, and how did that change the message? And the message is, I guess, that all of us serve in one degree or another, especially those who are serving. And I am right now, have my brother-in-law who's in the Navy, who's serving. He works on an LCAC and recently came back from his deployment. And it really is an emotional time for, I think, those that serve and those that come back. I wanted to actually share a story with you on how a veteran impacted my life and what it means to our community here in San Dimas. In 2008, I was a deputy sheriff assigned to patrol in Lakewood Station, which is not too far away from here. For those that don't know, I'm a sheriff's, LA County Sheriff's Department sergeant, but I was a deputy then. And I was working with a guy named Anthony Velasco, and that guy one night decided he saw somebody in Long Beach that needed some help, another cop. And so he decided to go ahead and roll to that call. And when he did, they pulled into a church off of Woodruff and Carson. And when they pulled into that location and went into it, gunshots started ringing out. People started running. And so Anthony decided he was going to go ahead and run into this thing with this Long Beach copper, who, when they got to the door, the Long Beach copper, probably the most sensible one, said, "We're not doing this, we're going to wait for backup," and he backed out. And so the two of them backed out, took cover behind a concrete bench. And I heard Anthony on the radio while I was at the station, and he put out he was involved in a shooting, or he was being shot at. So instinctively, I just jumped in the car, being all but 23 years old, and said, "Okay, I'm going. We're going to do this." And so I respond over to the location. I'm the first one there. And as I get there, and they teach you a number of things that many of you who have served, who have seen engagements or combat, they try and tell you how it's going to be. But it's not necessarily the way it always is. And so as I'm running through that, and I'm running through people, trying to tell them to show me their hands and just trying to make sure I engage the right person or not, I see Anthony hunkered behind a concrete bench. And I run up and I jump down next to Anthony. And Anthony was an academy classmate of mine. And he says, in the most endearing way, he says, "Sausage," because my name's Ryan Vienna, so the nickname was Sausage. He says, "Sausage, we got to go in." And, here I am from San Dimas and just kind of looking at that going, well, all right, you say so. Mind you, I'd been through training with Anthony, and I knew Anthony was a United States Marine, and he had been through combat, and he'd been through engagements. And so with his leadership and his courage and his split-second decision, he said, "We're going to do this." So we went up to the door, we went in, and proceeded to handle the problem. As we got inside, thankfully, the shooter had actually, well, maybe not thankfully, he was ultimately apprehended, but the shooter escaped amidst the crowd. But inside was somebody down and dead who later was pronounced, and there was a lot of blood. You know, I bring this up because knowing what is required is different than doing what is required. And I think many people here did what was required for this great nation, for this great city. And I'm very grateful for that. I'm very grateful for the families, and I'm very grateful for each one of you. This city is very grateful for this monument, for this moment in time that took a lot of time to get here. And so you have my commitment, and I think that of the city, to continue to support this monument, this park, and the San Dimas Heroes. And I'd be remiss not to say thank you so much to every single person with the San Dimas Heroes that has worked diligently to fundraise, to maintain, construct, and have this every single year. I live very close to this park, and I see it daily, and it always reminds me of the people that come into service. And the point is, the young Marines are here. The generations to come need to look at people like you, the people that have served, the families that have sacrificed, to know that there is something worth working for. And as someone who, unfortunately, I will claim being a millennial, it is inspiring to see a generation of people that did sacrifice so much for us, and it gives us hope. So thank you so much.
Well, you know who the politicians are in this group. Thank you very much, Ryan. Appreciate it very much. At this time, I'd like to introduce Tim Gerard, who's on our board of directors, and he will organize the raising of the military flag and the American flag.
Is there a place for you to sit by?
Good evening. The Young Marines will be raising all the military flags one at a time. We invite those of you that have served or are currently serving in the U.S. Armed Forces to please stand if you can as your branch's song is played. We'll start with the United States Army. Next is the United States Marine Corps.
Yeah.
Next is the United States Navy.
Oh, he's up. Oh, okay.
Next is the United States Air Force. Next, we'll raise the United States Coast Guard. Now we'll raise the California flag.
I love you, California. You're the greatest state of all. I love you in the winter, summer, spring, and in the fall. I love your fertile valleys, your dear mountains I adore. I love your grand old ocean, and I love her rugged shore.
And now I'd like to introduce Colleen McMahon, who will be singing the national anthem. Please stand while we raise the United States flag.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Good evening, everyone, and thank you for all coming. Right now, we're going to honor our World War II veterans that are here today. We have 9 of them that their name has been placed on the wall this year. So as I call your name, if you will just raise your hand, and Sergeant Destiny Pacheco will give you and award you a medallion to recognize your work and your dedication as a World War II veteran. Henry A. Dovicek, United States Army. If you are here, if you could put up your hand so we can see you. Are you? His son is taking it in his behalf. Manuel S. Fernandez, United States Army. Is there someone here representing him? George W. Hughes, Jr., United States Navy. Natividad F. Fergadillo, United States Army. Charles M. Robinson, United States Navy. James H. Salmon, United States Army. Wilbur D. Sanchez, United States Army. Philip J. Walbrook, United States Navy. Roland R. Wigington, United States Navy. Gentlemen, thank you very much for your service.
You know, I didn't know what to say as a Vietnam veteran, so I'm just going to read what we put in the program. I think that says everything that we all feel about our Vietnam veterans. Special thank you to all those Vietnam veterans who are attending tonight's event. We appreciate you, we thank you, and we honor you for your service to our country at a time when it wasn't very popular. Your commitment to our freedom will never be forgotten. You never received the welcome home you so justly deserve, so tonight we want to welcome you home with open arms and our heart-filled gratitude. May God bless each and every one of you, and welcome home. At this point, I'd like to introduce Gary Turflinger, and Chris Green.
Hi, and welcome to Freedom Park. I'm Chris, and this is Gary, and we're here to read off the names of San Dimas Vietnam vets. When your name is called, please stand so a young Marine out in the audience somewhere will be able to find you, and the young Marine will give you a personal thank you and then present you with a lapel pin. So, Gary, are you ready to read the names off?
Ready to go.
All right, have at it.
We're going to read 3 at a time. That'll give you, those young Marines, a little bit of a chance to get out there. So, first one is Bob Bearden. Oh, Gary and Barbar? Okay. Terry Bearden. Nope. Okay. Thomas Billio.
Okay, and next is Chris Branham. William K.W.S.T. Jr. Dave Campbell. He's not here. I understand that he's not with us today.
Okay, the next gentleman's not here also. That's Guy Cloutman. And we have Christopher Coffin. Thank you. And Larry Dessy. Larry?
Next is Dennis Durnell. Charles Faulkner.
I guess he's in here.
Oh, okay.
I think they got it.
Okay, good. Okay. Henry Gonzalez.
Okay, then we have Joseph Gonzalez. Here. Charles Graham. I think he has a cheering section. And Chris Green.
Okay. Now, let's see. All right. Milton Green. Okay, good. Tim Hanratty. Mike Hensman.
What about Klaus? He's all right, the next 3 is Klaus Herms. Ralph Esterman. There he is. Pat Hudson. Is Pat here?
All right. Okay. Jack Hunt. Stu Hunter. Stu is the official Heroes photographer. Thank you, Stu. Don Jones.
We have Robert Kelly. Joseph Kyung. Paul Larson.
Russell Lindquist. Hans Luyanga. Jesus Lopez.
We have David Lucero. Come on, gentlemen. Right there. Robert Lyons. Stephen Mann.
David Marquez. There.
You guys have one? Yeah, should I go like that?
Girl, right there. Here she comes. There. Good. Okay. Joseph Martinez. Gary McAuliffe.
Ray McCormick. Marshall Meteor. Thomas Metz.
Candido Moranas.
Oh, there. We got him right there.
All right. Theodore Newman. Paul Palermo.
James Petsaratskos. Al Politano. Stanley Preston.
We're on the home stretch. Reginald Roberts Jr. Saturnino Rosales. Richard Sakamoto.
Wilbur Sanchez, Tom Soma, Ann Tate,
Gary Terflinger, Ronald Vargas, Robert Wallen,
we have Alexander Weston, Bobby Williams, Gary Woods.
Okay, that concludes our list, and to all you guys, welcome home.
Is George W. Hughes here by any chance? Or somebody representing him? Right there. All right, if we didn't call your name and you were a Vietnam veteran, we didn't have an application or a form, and we are taking names because we will be having something later on.
On the World War II veterans, look at your medallion and make sure that you have the right name on it. If it's not your name, just come up and we'll exchange it.
And I'm now introducing Nancy Inez. There she is.
Earlier this year, the HEROES organization was contacted by a gentleman from Claremont, Devin Hackleton. He had found the name Klaus Herms of San Dimas on the virtual Vietnam Wall. Although he did not personally know Klaus Herms, he submitted an application, including the payment, to add Klaus to the Veterans Wall in San Dimas. The committees researched and learned that Herms was a 1964 graduate of Charter Oak School, having immigrated from Poland as a young boy. He lived in San Dimas when he joined the Marine Corps. Klaus had earned the rank of Lance Corporal when he was killed in the jungles of Vietnam on March 4th, 1966, during Operation Utah. He was just 20 years old. He is the only San Dimas resident killed in action in Vietnam that we are aware of at this time. He's buried with his parents, Walter and Hildegard, at Forest Lawn Memorial Park in Covina Hills. San Dimas heroes believe that it's time to honor the sacrifice of Klaus Herms, and his name is now engraved on the wall here at Freedom Park. Rest in peace, Klaus, and thank you for your service and sacrifice.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome Corleen back.
God
bless America, land that I love. Stand beside her and guide her through the night with the light from above. From the mountains to the prairies to the oceans white with foam. God bless America, my home, sweet home. From the mountains to the prairies to the oceans wide with foam. God bless America, my home, sweet home.
Piping aboard. All veterans present.
Will all military veterans please stand and come to attention?
Maybe this young man can help. Nope. Stay down. Oh, careful.
Laura and I will be reading off the newly engraved names on the wall for 2017. Joseph T. Adenoff, Jr., Air Force. Ray F. Barlow, Air Force. Eugene R. Bauer, Air Force. Thomas M. Bolelo, Marine Corps. William Caius, Jr., Marine Corps. John E. Chandler, Navy. Ozzie Crenshaw, Army. Ozzie M. Crenshaw, Army. Dennis R. Durnell, Army. Henry A. Dvorak, Army, World War II. Kenneth Baird Earl, Navy. Jake J. Ewan, Marine Corps. Manuel S. Fernandez, Army, World War II. Charles O. Graham, Navy. Milton E. Green, Jr., Navy. Klaus J. Herms, Marine Corps. Ralph J. Hesterman, Navy. George W. Hughes, Jr., Navy, World War II. Alexander J. Jahanmir, Army. Michael A. Johnson, Marine Corps. Joseph C. Koenig, Army. Paul C. Larson, Army. Ronnie S. Liao, Navy.
John L. Lee, Marine Corps. David G. Lucero, Marine Corps. Stephen E. Mahan, Army. David M. Marquez, Army. Ray McCormick, Army. Marshall P. Metoyer, Air Force. Theodore Newman, Marine Corps. Ryan K. Regano, Army. Natividad F. Regalado, Army, World War II. Reginald P. Roberts, Jr., Navy. Charles M. Robinson, Navy, World War II. John M. Rubio, Marine Corps. Richard Y. Sakamoto, Army. James H. Salmon, Army, World War II. Wilbur D. Sanchez, Army, World War II. Paul Spencer II, Navy. Ann L. Tate, Air Force. Philip J. Walbrook, Navy, World War II. Wayne A. Wassell, Army. Alexander Weston, Army. Roland R. Wigginton, Navy, World War II. Bobby J. Williams, Army. Thank you. At this
Veterans, hands up. 2, be seated.
At this time, we'd like to welcome Colleen back to sing America the Beautiful.
Oh, beautiful for spacious skies, for amber waves of grain, for purple mountain majesty above thy fruited plain. America, America, God shed his grace on thee and crowned thy good with brotherhood from sea to shining sea. Oh, beautiful for pilgrim feet whose stern impassioned stress a thoroughfare for freedom beat across the wilderness. Oh, America, America, God shed his grace on thee and crown thy good with brotherhood from sea to shining sea.
I apologize. I need to make 2 corrections. I want to recognize Jan Hensel, that served in Vietnam 3 tours and was actually shot down. And he served with the United States Army. Jan, or his representative. And I also want to recognize John Freeman, Coast Guard, World War II. His name was on the wall last year, and we also already presented him with the medallion to his daughter. Thank you.
Okay, tonight what we're going to do is I'm going to make some closing comments, then we'll do the taps, and then we'll retire the colors before we actually unveil the murals, so everybody could come up afterwards and take a look at that, as well as the new names that are on the wall. A couple of announcements. One, next Saturday is the, I find it here, is a Bowser Bash at Horse Thief Canyon Park. This is where you can bring your dog and participate in a whole bunch of good stuff and fun stuff for your animals and yourself. So you're welcome. It's 10 o'clock to 1 o'clock tomorrow's next Saturday rather, and it's done by the City of San Dimas Parks and Recreation Department. Okay, when you leave tonight, you're going to get 2 flyers. One flyer is about a fundraiser that we're going to have tomorrow at Subway store in Via Verde. They're giving a percentage of the purchases there that day to our organization. So I have problems sometimes remembering people's name, but I don't forget faces. And I see all of you here, and I expect to see all of you tomorrow at Subway. Now, I don't want to have to go out looking for you, so please show up. If you're not hungry on Sunday, you still can go and buy a sandwich, stick it in the refrigerator, and eat it on Monday. But either way, we'd like you to participate in that event that we're doing. Okay, I get to change hats. Tonight, we're proud to announce that we've been selected by the Vietnam Veterans Memorial Fund to host the Wall That Heals. It'll be in the city of San Dimas the first quarter of next year. Not allowed to announce the dates yet, but everything is in the process so that we could get it in the first quarter. If you're not familiar with the Wall That Heals, it's an actual replica, half size, of the Vietnam Wall in Washington, D.C. So we're very fortunate to be able to get that. We're one of 40 cities in the United States that will host that next year. It's going to be held at Lone Hill School on the North Field. The new wall, actually, it's going to be new next year, 2018, is actually 375 feet long, where the original one that they used in the traveling was 250 feet. So we had to find another place a little bit bigger to hold that, but our plans are to do that at Lone Hill School. The sad part, or the challenging part for us, is that it's going to cost approximately $25,000 to have it here for the 4 days. So that's why we're doing fundraisers. That's why we ask you to go to Subway tomorrow. We also have this is the second form that we'll be passing out. A form that you can fill out if you want to volunteer your time. We need 100 volunteers. If you want to donate, we need $25,000. But if you'd like to also do an in-kind, you're welcome to do that too. So you'll be handed those two flyers, and both of them obviously are for the fundraising for the wall. And we will keep you informed if you read the local newspapers and everything when we can officially announce the dates. But again, it will be sometime first quarter of 2018. If you don't get one of those forms handed out to you, they will be over here at the Heroes booth. Okay, at this time, we'll go ahead and have taps. And again, Larry Grossman. Larry? Thank you, Larry. We will now have the retiring of the colors, the Girl Scouts of Greater Los Angeles.
Color Guard, attention. Color Guard, advance. Color Guard, honor your colors.
Salute. 1. Ready. 2.
Color Guard, prepare to retrieve colors. Color Guard, retrieve colors. Color guard dismissed.
Good afternoon and welcome veterans, family, and friends. Our monument here at Freedom Park is a lasting tribute to our veterans who have served both here and abroad. This new mural is another expression of that gratitude to these great Americans. Artist Lucien Van Oosten is a gifted painter whose works have been shown locally for many years. He's an art instructor for our Parks and Recreation Department and past president of Pomona Valley Artists Association. Thank you, Lucien, for creating this beautiful mural for the fine men and women who have served. Thank you also to Dominic Black and his art students for their work on the previous mural, to San Dimas Vista Paint for providing the materials for our current mural, and to Ms. Donna Lawrence. Heroes is very honored to present this mural as we pay tribute to our veterans, remembering their achievements, their courage and dedication, to say thank you to say thank you, thank you, for your sacrifices and the precious gift of freedom you have given us. Are you ready to see the new mural? All right. Lucien, please unveil our new mural. Thank you.
I'm sorry. No, do it.